Direct News TV. February 24, 2024. Western leaders visit Ukraine to show solidarity as war enters third year. Western leaders including the European Commission's Ursula von der Leyen and Canada's Justin Trudeau have visited Kyiv to show solidarity with Ukraine as it enters the third year of its war with Russia. Von der Leyen, Trudeau, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, and Belgium Prime Minister Alexander De Croo arrived in the country on Saturday on an overnight train from neighboring Poland as Ukraine marks the second anniversary of Moscow's invasion on the defensive amid flagging Western aid and Russian territorial gains. "We have been fighting for this for 730 days of our lives. We will win on the best day of our lives," Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said at an anniversary event at Kyiv's Gostomel airport, which was targeted by Russia in the first days of its invasion. Oleksandr Syrsky, the chief of the Ukrainian armed forces, said, "I am convinced that unity is our victory. And it will definitely happen. Because light always conquers darkness." Meloni, whose country is chairing the G7 this year, is scheduled to host a video conference later on Saturday between leaders from the group of major economies and Zelensky, with new sanctions against Russia and joint arms purchases for Ukraine among the likely topics of discussion. "More than ever, we stand firmly by Ukraine. Financially, economically, militarily, morally. Until the country is finally free," von der Leyen said in a post on X. Trudeau said that Ukrainians were fighting for our collective future. "They are fighting to remind the world that democracy is both important enough to die for and strong enough to win," he said in a statement before arriving in Kyiv. "As the war continues, that is what is at stake. And that is why Canada has stood with Ukraine since day one." NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg expressed confidence that Ukraine will join the transatlantic military alliance. "It is not a question of if, but of when. As we prepare you for that day, NATO will continue to stand with Ukraine," he said. The United Kingdom on Saturday announced a new $311 million defense package to help boost the production of urgently needed artillery ammunition for Ukraine. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak promised, "We will stand with Ukraine today and tomorrow, prepared to do whatever it takes, for as long as it takes, until they prevail." Kyiv's fortunes have suffered in recent weeks amid shortages of military supplies, with Russia this month capturing the eastern town of Avdiivka in its biggest victory on the battlefield in months. United States President Joe Biden has blamed Republicans in Congress for holding up a $61 billion package of military funding, casting the support as crucial to Kyiv's efforts to repel Moscow. Biden on Friday announced Washington's largest package of sanctions against Russia, pledging to keep up pressure on Russian President Vladimir Putin's war machine. On Friday, Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba delivered a rebuke to skeptics who doubt Kyiv's ability to defeat Moscow, insisting that Ukraine will win the war and victory would come sooner rather than later, with international support. Zelensky earlier this week told diplomats in an emotional address that he remained convinced that victory awaits us. While neither Ukraine nor Russia has provided official estimates of the number of military casualties in the war, both sides claim to have inflicted heavy losses. The New York Times in August cited U.S. officials who estimated that about 70,000 Ukrainian troops had been killed and a further 100,000 to 120,000 wounded. In December, leaked U.S. intelligence suggested that about 315,000 Russian troops had been killed or injured. In its latest report, the UN Human Rights Monitoring Mission in Ukraine said this week that it had been able to corroborate the conflict-related deaths of 10,582 civilians since February 2022. It had verified that 19,875 civilians had been wounded. "The actual numbers are likely significantly higher," it said. "My name is Kingsley. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to be notified whenever we post, you won't regret it."